Americans. It is my honor to welcome you to the first day of the 117th Congress. We're here with the support of our families and the faith of our neighbors to be their voice in Washington. Since Congress first sat in this room, Americans have always found a way to ensure that their needs were top of the mind. In fact, when Abraham Lincoln served here, members of Congress only had small desks on the House floor to store their work. One of those desks now sits in the Cannon Office Building tunnel. As members traveled back and forth to the nation's capital, they were compelled to carry all of their work with them. There were no filing cabinets, no servers in the cloud or offices. Their desk was their office. Members rarely went anywhere without physically bringing their constituents' concerns with them. These small desks are a timeless reminder to every American that the House is made to represent you, the people, and that is a responsibility I welcome and embrace every day. Today, however, it's easier than ever to neglect or ignore this responsibility. From social media to special interest groups to the culture police, there are endless temptations to distract from why we are here and who is truly important. Sadly, the last Congress suffered from this neglect. In this chamber 2 years ago, the Speaker spoke of a new dawn for the middle class. But for the next 2 years, the majority was consumed with everything else. During some of the most challenging times for our country, I felt Congress was on the sidelines. When the need for more pandemic relief was obvious, did we deliver in a timely lifeline Americans needed? Or did we say nothing was better than something until politics dictated our actions? When unrest spilled into the cities and communities across the country, did we deliver safety that Americans wanted? Or did we let calls to defund the police intimidate us from protecting life, liberty, and property? When Americans relied on essential workers to keep our country moving, did we serve the people's house in a way Americans deserved? Or did we shrink and reward members who stayed home, skipped work, and still got paid? The unfortunate answers to these questions underscore why the last Congress was the least productive Congress in 50 years. It has been said that a house divided cannot stand. Well, if there's any lessons that Americans have learned in the last 2 years, it is this: a house distracted cannot govern. I wish I could say that the majority in Congress is committed to changing for the common good and focusing on what really matters. But I'm concerned about the early actions are pointing in the wrong direction. Tomorrow, this majority of the new 117th Congress plans to adopt new rules that would silence our constituents' voices in Congress. Those rules thrown away for more than 100 years of representation in our nation's capital by effectively killing a key opportunity to amend legislation. Worse, they would penalize any member who shares news or views that maybe your allies in the media deem fake. They actually make it an ethics violation, which is usually reserved for such unbecoming conduct as bribery or corruption. Under these rules, all members are equal, but some are more equal than others. As for our constituents, it means freedom of speech is silenced, good ideas are stifled, and dissent is punished. Why would an American political party use this as your first action in Congress? Perhaps you feel the urgency to protect their political careers. Given the message that the American people sent to Washington, the grip is slim and the majority is slimmer. 2 months ago to this very day, the American people said enough. Enough with politicians who dictate what you can say, where you can eat, or whether you can go to church. Enough politicians who ignore the stay-at-home lockdowns they impose on the rest of us. Enough with arrogance and hypocrisy. Americans are fed up with it, and we Republicans are too. As a party of Lincoln, Republicans understand what it means to carry our constituents' concerns with us at all times. We are a growing, working-class coalition of proud Americans, more energetic, united, and confident than ever before. We believe in the exceptionalism of this nation and are not afraid to say it. We have listened to our constituents. We heard how things needed to change, and we made a commitment to America to restore our way of life, rebuild the economy, and renew the American dream. That's what we campaigned on. That's what we offered in every district. And as the voices of the people matter, that's how we plan to govern. The response from the American people to our commitment was resounding. Even though we were outspent in district by district, no Republican incumbent was defeated. None. All across this country, voters endorsed common sense, not conflict. It was a referendum against a radical agenda to defund the police and punish hard work. It was a wake-up call. The question I ask of this Congress, were we listening? As we enter the new Congress, I ask every member to step out of your office, go to the Cannon Tunnel, look at that small desk, and ask yourself, what is in your desk? Here is what is in mine. As a son of a fireman, I know how our police officers and first responders put everything on the line to keep us safe. I will never, never, never vote to defund them. Can we make that same commitment to America? As a former small business owner, I understand how tough things can be, even in the best of times. As we battle the coronavirus, our small businesses are battling lockdowns. They're destroying livelihoods and making it impossible to beat the odds, so I will not hike their taxes. Can we make that same commitment to America? As a fourth-generation Central Valley member from California, I represent farmers and oil-field workers who rise at the dawn to go to work, who pray to God and raise the next generation of good, decent citizens. I will respect their individuality and their freedom, and I will not forget them. Can we keep that commitment to America? No more misplaced priorities. The American people deserve better. America is worth fighting for. Americans' rights are worth fighting for. Their dreams are worth fighting for. Their voices are worth fighting for. And most importantly, their voices are worth being heard on this floor. During the darkest days of the Civil War, when this nation was literally burning with division, Abraham Lincoln advised us to strive to maintain the government and institution of our fathers, to enjoy them ourselves and to transmit them to our children's and our children's children's forever. He was right then, he is right now, and for the sake of the many generations to come, we need to succeed now. With that, I want to congratulate the Speaker. I do not have the gavel. Madam Speaker, as I hand you this gavel, I just ask that you keep in mind of all the voices in America that have a voice on this floor.